And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 371 of Fans of Power. I'm Joe Amato, and I'm here with my partners in crime, Tyler T-Rex, Baker, Nasty Nate, Nathan Kennedy, and the Doctor, Dushin Mitrovic. And one person is sick, ain't here. That's Rebecca. Ren, he sucks, so he's not here. And we were going to have a guest that must have fucking fell asleep, and he ain't here. So it's the four of us.
He might appear.
Yeah. There's still time for that. And if Joe seems really salty, Rip McKenzie's not here because he is at ZoloCon this weekend. And, because Ren's got to make that money. He's got to sell his art. And in our little Facebook chat group that we have for our podcast, Ren hits us with this. He was hanging out with Jenny, Joe. And they went to dinner.
It looks like a nice restaurant, Joe.
Yeah, I know, right? That doesn't look like no $3 meal. Right?
Yeah, you may have to kind of up the competitions. The gauntlet's been thrown, Joe. I think.
Hey,
you're going to take. Applebee's can't cut it anymore.
Well, like I said, hey, our first dinner over at McDonald's was good. I did treat her good, and I'm going to keep. And it was McDonald's, but it was tasty. But I will keep upgrading. But that's some bitch
chemicals.
No, I don't know. I'm just giving some shit. But no, like I said, I took her to McDonald's one time, and it was really tasty.
Only once.
I just picture Joe as like Major Payne when he's like needing a mission. He's in his room, kicking stuff, and just clawing, or like Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now, where he kicks the window and he starts crying because he's like cut his foot open and everything, and laying in his bed.
Like, damn it, I couldn't make it there. But I will correct myself. It wasn't McDonald's. The first thing that I ever got her to eat when we went somewhere is I got her a bag of popcorn for $0.25, and I luckily did have 50 cents because I thought we were gonna have to share a bag. But luckily, I got her a bag, got me a bag.
Yeah,
so it was good.
Joe doesn't share with anybody, not even the love of his life, right?
No, but she would. Like I said,
I will say I have to hear those wedding vows when they are said out loud of what Joe won't be sharing with her. There has to be an understanding, when things progress, of what Joe will not. Whereas Fred will come in with like his contract. Well, Jenny, I'm willing to share this if you're willing to sign here on the dotted line here. And
that was wrong. It was wrong that he was there, ZoloCon, and damn it, he had to get by my baby. So that bastard. So I think that's why he didn't show up, just because he knows that I probably would have gave him a whole lot of shit. Because he fucking annoys the hell out of me. But you know what's surprising through all this other stuff, though, is something that's even completely opposite is the really act of kindness and something right before we started that was awkward and different, which Dushin, Tyler, whoever wants to say this story was like, wow.
That's why
different.
that's the legit reason of why we
Yeah.
were late starting the show. I wasn't taking a shit like Joe likes to say in the chat room. This was actually something that Dushin had won and decided to have it mailed to Tyler's. Go ahead.
Yeah. I got a very generous gift. Deucin, what is the name of this character again?
Commander Video.
That's what I started looking for that. And I'm like, okay, nothing's coming up here, so I'll need you to send more information. But Deucin knows I'm a big fan of the Marvel Action Universe that aired in '88, '89 here in the States, and Dino Riders, as we all know, is part of that lineup. And this show, Commander Video, was scheduled to be part of that lineup, and Dino Riders bumped it. So this is a cell from this unaired cartoon from the Marvel Action Universe called Commander Video.
Oh, it's not unaired. It was never made, but that was
okay, even more so
for a presentation to pitch the show.
So, like, they had like a reel of animation to showcase to the networks and
probably, possibly, or it was just a slideshow. Who knows? But either way, that was originally supposed to be instead of Dino Riders. Then Dino Riders were conceived, and that got kicked out.
Wow! So I'm holding a rare piece of unaired history here, people. Thanks to Deuce.
One of a kind.
One of a kind here, people. Like he's not the black-hearted bastard that we all say. The guy does have a genuine heart here, and it was really even when he told me he had something for me, I thought he was giving me shit, like it was a joke. There's no way he's sending me something just for fun. Like, this is really fucking cool, man. Like, I'm very honored that you thought of me and sent this to me, man. I will be putting this in a nice frame to put on display to have this one of a kind piece of animation history here that nobody knows about. Literally.
Dude, speaking of that, how did you come across it again? Tell everybody how you got that.
Well, I was in a private Facebook group about animation collecting, and this animation gallery that had the cell was they didn't know what it's from, and they were like, "Hey, if anyone if anyone knows where this is from and can prove it, can have this cell for free." So I knew what it was because I paid attention to trade adverts from the 80s, and those often feature shows that never got made. So I said, it's Commander Video, here's the proof, I won it, and had it sent to Tyler.
That is so fucking cool.
Yeah. So it's so awesome. Like, do you have those pictures that you shared with us before of like?
Oh,
of
yeah. Go ahead and pop those up again.
Yeah, pop those up, dude, so people can see this. Like, so here's an example of what was coming before Dino Riders came along.
Yep, Commander Video and RoboCop.
Which I'm going to assume Spider-Man is Amazing Friends, probably, and the Incredible Hulk cartoon probably would have been part of the lineup, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that was just there was just the reruns.
Yeah, from the early '80s
series and Amazing Friends and Hulk 1982.
Yeah,
and then came Dino Riders.
Which I love this. What is the origin behind this illustration here? I mean, like, obviously it's an advert for it, but like what is the?
This is the concept sketch for one of the trade ads. I'm not sure if it got made, but it sure looks great. Like typically there's one that exists is Spider-Man in like a TV control room with a bunch of shows displayed on the screens. There's two versions of those, and this ties into those with RoboCop and Dino Riders just bursting out of the screen. So I'm not sure if that got made, but it's a very interesting sketch.
I love how they threw in the Marvel Productions logo with the Spider-Man kind of like, crawling on, just like at the end of all these shows, you would see that awesome logo.
Yeah, that's even on their internal memos and such.
Holy shit!
Yeah, Here I'm gonna try to find if I can see where.
See, people, where else? What other podcasts on the
Ah.
internet are you going to find this kind of information? Look at this. Look at
Look
how
at that.
awesome this is. Holy shit!
Yeah, you can see Transformers, GI Joe,
Muppet
bunch of
Babies.
shows
Muppet
that Marvel
Babies.
produced.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Jim, Defenders of the Earth.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
You
Marvel
really
makes
are
the
a fountain of
magic.
information. It's insane the shit that you know, man, and that you like.
God,
and then
that's
if
so
anybody,
cool.
yeah, I love that. I don't know how
Here's
he knows all
another
this
one.
shit.
Robotics is on there.
Spider-Man, Hulk.
Bigfoot and the Muscle Machines.
I have vague like I don't remember. I never saw it, but I've heard of that show.
Oh God, I
actually
forgot
have some
about that.
episodes. I have some episodes. Also, you can see Solar Man. That was only they only made a pilot for that.
Oh yeah, right there.
Holy shit! Yeah, at the bottom there. Yeah, Astro Minute.
That's really
Holy
cool. Dude.
shit! Now I want to know more about Solar Man. Just like
Yeah, you can see it on YouTube.
the
Like
pilots on YouTube.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
it was released on VHS, so it's a really good recording.
Well, we'll just change tonight's topic to let's
Yeah.
do a watch along. To,
Yeah, Solar Man.
that's really cool. And
That's there it is. So it looks like it was, I guess, sold on VHS in 1991. I'm going to assume.
Yeah, something like that. Stan Lee wrote. I believe Stan Lee wrote the pilot.
Which I'm just gonna like, as we're sitting here like live, I'm just gonna like let the intro play here, just out of curiosity. The Fox Kids Network special presentation, and I'm watching the intro right here, and
there you go.
Yeah, Rob Walsh, who did the music for G.I. Joe and Transformers, also composed music for that.
Here's
very interesting.
Here's the cover of the VHS.
Oh, badass! He kind of reminds me of Adam Warlock.
The hottest new superhero. Added feature,
like,
an interview with Marvel's Stan Lee.
He does look like Fire Lord and Adam Warlock.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, which the animation is very, very well done here.
Yeah, it's that studio that worked on Sola Spider-Man animated series and some
Holy
of the
shit.
episodes of Amazing Friends and Hulk 1982.
I know the company you're talking about too. Yeah,
I wish they got utilized more because, like, they're certainly not the best, but they really did a good, decent job. They were always on model.
well, the villain. I'll be watching this. I'll be definitely watching this, like while I'm having my lunch breaks at work tomorrow. Like, cause the villain in the show looks very cool looking, like a very interesting visual.
Yeah.
Like that. Wow. People, we're learning some new stuff here tonight. Boom, boom, but none of this is planned here, people.
Yeah.
No. This is what makes us the best He-Man podcast on the internet. Period. Like, I'm sorry, no one's going to beat us. In fact, we're better than all the other like toy-related podcasts. We just are. I'm just going to come out here and say, where else are you get this kind of information?
Hey, didn't that got you into trouble the last time you said that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
see, Tyler was way more mean and vicious about it.
Yeah,
so.
I'm playing up like how awesome it is that we got all this information. I'm not knocking literally. Look, because when I did that, I apologized for it. I own up to it. It was a mistake, and I shouldn't have done it. Joe, you should have stopped me.
Basically, what we're trying.
That's great. What did I do?
Yeah.
What we're trying to say is, because of that, it led us on this path of all these other undiscovered cartoons that didn't know exist.
It's intriguing, and that's all I'm emphasizing is that we are a small podcast. We know that, but I love the fact that we have a lot. There's a lot of meat on the bone of this podcast. Like, it's not slim pickings. We always have a lot to say, and all this information that Deuce and just here you go, guys, enjoy. Like,
well, let's talk about farts now. All right.
Okay.
Let's bring it down a peg now. I'll pass it on to Joe so we can watch him run out of breath as he tries to read off everyone that's here joining us live.
All right, here we go.
Get a drink of water there.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I will do that. It's a good idea.
You know what? Here, bottoms up here, Joe. I'll take a swig with you here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cheers. All right.
Cheers.
Here we go. All right, we have. God damn you, Nathan, you fuckbag.
This is what happens when Joe doesn't hydrate.
Yeah.
Shut up. We have Zentron, JSP, Fedmon, Wiley Walt, Chris Carter, Jenny, I love you, baby. Rebel Wookie. At least we don't have to hear Ren
Bet
saying
she can't
Ren
say the
loves
same
her
about
too.
you right
There you
now.
go. Jenny,
damn it, I wanna punch
Jenny, Ray loves you, baby.
I want to punch Ren right in his dick. All right, MOTU Drew, Jaime Mares.
You want to touch his dick?
Shut up. Brian Clifton, Sean D. Brian Brummagem. I'm getting there. Say it, Nathan. Say his name.
Johnny Cock.
All right. Papa Hood 69. Daniel Carhoonen. John Ballard. Felipe. Sean Goss.
Are you having a stroke?
Shut up, you fuck nut. All right, let's see. I think I'm getting
DL
everybody.
is here.
Hold on. Who?
DL.
I missed. Oh, I missed. Sorry, DL. Sorry, my thing's jumping all around. I should hit live. And JSP. And I think I got it. Brad Collins. Oh, now DL. See, I just got to the bottom, so I would have got him. I just got there, and now I got everybody. I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize.
What about that person? What about that person? You just missed it.
I got everybody. I think I did that pretty good. So.
Oh, look at that.
You got the Fangor. Okay.
Oh. Haven't opened it yet, but yeah, I dig it. I like it, and it's nice that you can just slide the packaging out, take the figure right out.
Oh, they do that now, huh?
Yeah, they do that with all the ones that are the exclusives like that. They've been doing that, since they started. It's pretty cool, and not that I'm trying to one up you, Nathan, because I think maybe that's what you. But he's like, sure. But my baby Jen, she surprised me. She got me Snake Mountain and the Origin Snake Mountain. Holy shit!
That video's already on the channel, Joe. Come on.
I know, but I'm letting people know in case they ain't seen it. I'm not a bragger, but you guys can catch it, and it's awesome. And
speaking of shitty mini comics,
oh boy,
rip it in half.
Do they put credits in those things now? Like, is there anybody who's like giving?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't read them. I just don't read them.
Oh,
I have no clue.
Destroy it. Tear it apart.
How many pages is it?
They usually have 6 or.
Oh my
7
god!
somewhere.
Yeah, it's much like the Cosmic Key tonight.
Destroy it.
It's like poetry, so that it rhymes.
Can I tell you a story that is kind of cool about that Fangor? Now, like I said, I love the figure, but my buddy Aaron Anderson, he had his son Sean, and Sean is I'm God, I hope I don't mess up his age. I don't know if he's 7 or so. I know he's really young, but maybe he's 8. He collects Origins, and he got a Fangor. And watching his live reaction, like he was liking it, but he looked at it and he was like, "Oh, these like teeth going." He put them in. He was like, "Looks like a walrus." So first he was like talking about when those teeth came.
That's a smart kid. That's a smart kid.
Yeah, and then he said, "Why does he have a wrench?" Because he comes with a wrench accessory. It's like that doesn't make sense. I was like, "This is from the mouths of children." It was just so cool seeing a natural reaction from a kid. And then he was looking through the mini comic, and he was like, "What's that He-Man? That one that looked all powered up?" He did not look impressed with any of that, but he loves Fangor without the walrus teeth, as he calls them.
That's
and Nathan, he did not like that. But I was like, wow, a real reaction from a kid.
See, like people love to say how kids are dumb, how they're just take anything they're given. Like,
he sure didn't. He didn't flip over those teeth. He didn't flip over the wrench. He didn't like the mini comic, but Fangor is just Fangor with just the normal teeth. He loves, and I like Fangor with just the normal teeth, but this does get some
normal teeth. It's fine, but with those gigantic, stupid walrus teeth, it's like if he looks down, he's going to stab himself.
All right, so there's the.
Yeah, it's like the same sword that came with the classics figure.
You got that wrench, that amazing wrench.
What's he gonna do with it anyway?
Which I took it as he's almost like kind of a blacksmith of the Snake Man. That's kind of like a wrench doesn't really go with
wrenches.
I know, but it just I don't want to say he's the Mr. Fix of the Snake Man.
I think it popped out somewhere when you saw that flying out. When I took wait, no, it's right here.
Maybe Fangor fixes Skeletor's toilet room.
Bro, it does look so just out of place though. And you should put the walrus teeth in just to show that walrus action.
Okay, so the teeth here, and then you.
So he has fake teeth.
Yeah,
he has dentures.
Oh, it does look silly. I gotta admit, I keep them big ass teeth out. Yeah, I don't use them teeth. Oh shit! He's trying to really stick that in there. Do you stick it over them, or you got to take out the others and put them in?
I honestly, yeah, okay, so I see now. I think.
It's just so fucking dumb. So you have to put it on.
Oh yeah, so you gotta like put your nail under there. All right, so yeah,
It's
like
so stupid.
First, got your teeth first. Look at that. There's pretty good. Look at Dushin losing his shit.
That was a good laugh.
Yes. He does have some walrus action.
It's so stupid.
yeah.
Which I mean, I think for that figure, they're way too long. They need to be cut back a bit to look.
Yeah,
more.
you could probably like.
Yeah.
So he literally has dentures. What a scary villain.
I like the regular teeth. I just keep it with the regular teeth. I was like, oh, there you go.
What regular teeth? They're all fake.
Well, they're all fake. Yeah, just that head right there. It's like, yeah, that works. That works. That's fine.
I just looking at these though, they look so like these newer Snake Men. They look very clunky looking. They don't. I mean, like the bright blue and the hot pink Snake Men that just came out. Like they just look.
Well, see, Joe showed he went live in our Facebook group and showed those off, but then he was so disappointed by it that he deleted the video. I'm like, dude, we could have put that on the channel so people could see how disappointed you
it's just they're reusing Cobra Khan and Rattler for this. And like I know that yes, Rattler, how the head is pre-posed, but when it strikes out, then he's looking at you like that. But these just look like two bland dorks. By the way, no weapons. I was so pissed when I got this because I'll show you the He-Man that they released a different variant of that already Snake armor. I didn't mind that, and I didn't mind Rattlehood, but these guys just look like the cheapest. Like here, just take these two fucking figures. Not like the other ones, which I got right here.
So
he does.
They have
this I don't mind. I don't mind Rattlehood, and he has two weapons. They're on the floor right now, but and he rattles. It's like okay. That's cool. What the fuck?
That's all right,
yeah. No, but that defeats you've already got Rattler. You don't.
I know they're just kind of doing a kit bash, but this one out of all of them, I don't mind for the Snake.
Could you remove the neck on that one?
Yeah. So the neck does pop off.
I just want to see how it looks like without the neck.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to have them probably with that neck. I just want to do it just to see. But let me pop that on after I. Get on, you dick bag, son of a bitch. There we go. All right, yeah.
Does it move?
Yeah,
up and down and such.
Yeah. You can pose it.
But those other two their heads don't move up and down.
No, they're just stuck in the stupid fucking this is what I can't stand. It's like you can move side to side, but you ain't okay. Look, he can go more up, but you still can't go down enough to really have him look
in that.
this is. Yeah,
also,
these two.
Now make them kiss, Joe. Make them kiss.
no, it's just annoying. It's like really.
Couldn't they have made the articulated jaws on those two? Like
they should have.
Plenty of room for that.
That's what a lot of people said. If anything, they should have had it to where the mouths can move something, and give them at least a weapon each, or switch up the parts. But just say, here's a green one, here's a fucking kind of reddish pink one, and take it and fucking like it. It's like, So these really annoyed me. But those goddamn skeleton warriors, holy shit! Now I don't have them by me. Those are fucking amazing. I'll do a review on that in the group later in the week. Those are those are great. It's like shit. It's just like it's cool to see the bones. Like bone warriors glow in the. And they glow in the dark. They fit perfectly with Scare Glow and around Snake Mountain. It's like, now those are cool army builders, but not these two shit.
You should demonstrate that feature, glow in the dark.
Well, that's the thing, Mike. I still can't do that good with like how this technology is, and if I turn off the lights, it don't glow good. You gotta have one of them special good.
This technology is.
Shut up! You gotta have super cameras to do that. I can't do that stuff, but I'll try to show you something later in the week.
An RCA camcorder doesn't capture the magic of glow in the dark now, does it?
No, but I do still have my one camcorder. It works good. It works great.
You do.
And I do. Take videos in it, and it's got old cassette-like tapes, and it looks like a cassette tape. And I still have that old man camera that Nathan likes to make fun of, like every time show him somebody taking your picture. That's how I do my photos for Photoshop. I take pictures using that. Why do I do this? Like you guys don't understand how a picture is taken.
I think because in your mind you think we don't know how.
No, I think it's because me being Italian, I talk with my hands a lot. But yeah, so anyways, I take the picture with that old camera. Still works beautifully. Pop that sucker into the Photoshop.
So it's not you having an arthritis.
No, nothing about arthritis, but it's a good fucking camera, and it was exactly like that one Nathan showed a couple years ago with an old man. I was like, that's my
That's actually Joe at a Chiefs game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Swear to God, that is my camera, and that's not bullshit.
That's Joe spying on Ren and Jen.
Yeah.
Have you now, bastard?
Yeah, he was outside of this restaurant with his camera like that.
It works great though. It really does. So, but I'm upgrading. I'm getting there. I have a cellular telephone now, and I'm moving
on your telephone. With the antenna on top of his car, and
it's getting better. Everything's getting better. And one day I'll figure out how to use that MapQuest in the car, so I know where it tells me where to go.
MapQuest in the car.
I'm gonna figure out all that shit. It's gonna be great. Wait, it's working.
I didn't think your car. I thought your car was in the nice. You sure as hell shouldn't have MapQuest in your car.
No, you use it on your cellular telephone. You can input that on there, and it'll tell you where to go.
Yeah, well, the MapQuest is no longer in use, dude. I mean.
Oh shit! Well, I guess I have to figure out something else. But either way, I mean, I'm getting there. I'll start knowing.
MapQuest still exists. I just
does it?
See, so let me use the map.
When was that created? When was that created? MapQuest. When was it created?
Oh God, I don't know. I have no clue.
I feel like back in the 2000s for sure, because I remember had people having printed out directions for stuff with MapQuest.
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely 2000s, but
I'm getting there. It's getting there. So, like I said, I am doing great with technology.
So by the time Joe's 80, he will have discovered Google Maps. And...
So, Joe, when are you finally switching from Laserdisc to DVD?
Play a Laserdisc. Come on, he's still using his beta tapes, dude.
Yeah.
I have. Well, it does. I've not hooked it up because it'd be on the old TV, but I still have a beta, and I do have VHS.
Of course you do. That's how. I mean, Joe's got to watch his porn somehow, right?
No, but I have so many old wrestling tapes. So many. Really, if I showed you, I got a stack of them. So I want to watch those again and see if I can figure a way of transfer.
Filthy raincoat to watch them and everything. And...
I'll transfer them onto DVD or something special.
Betsy's Burley Bush.
It's gonna all work out. So I got a lot of good shit. Leave me alone. I need a drink of fucking water.
Hey, you're the one who decided to be so open about what you watch in your spare time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I do have a whole.
What's on those camcorder tapes?
Look at that.
All the confessions of all the victims, pleading for life.
No,
Joe took it.
No, just family stuff. Getting family around the holidays and around birthdays and stuff. So it's kind of cool.
Burning houses or two.
I remember that. No, it's just I keep thinking damn. I can only imagine if I was growing up if I could have had stuff. Don't fucking say how old I am, Nathan. But it'd been nice if there was recordings of me when I was a kid. That would have been awesome. I can only imagine.
Well, they had 8mm cameras back then, Joe. I guess
I mean, I guess Joe could have been one of the first movies ever made. You watch the ones
like silent film.
Yeah, the topless women that juggle and stuff, and the 5-second clips of the first Ford cars, the 1908 cars driving,
and there's no sound or anything. It's just Joe running really fast and falls on his face, and
this would be great. I wish I had shit from when I was a kid. That's all I guess I'm saying, because I don't even have many pictures, so that's why I tried to take advantage of that.
If anyone remembers what the opening credits of the Wonder Years looks like, that's what Joe would have been being recorded.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
The little Jimmy's film. Yeah, I like that. So fuck. So I recorded stuff as much as I could, and you can't get tapes for those no more, though. So I'd fucking have to figure a different way to record. Stop it, God damn it!
It's just pretty much hours and hours of this.
Look at all my video games back there, man.
They're not really video games. It's all the tapes of all the victims, hiding in all the Sega games.
Yeah.
How many fucking people always said, "Why you got all those books back there?" It's like
that was always Ren that said that.
No, there was somebody else that thought that in the chat. I remember they were like, "Why you got all those books?"
I
was
did.
Like,
I thought those were porno books.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, like Madonna's book about sex. Like Joe has like every volume, you know.
Dude, I remember when that came out. Everyone made a big deal about it.
Yeah. Remember when like they spoofed it on Saturday Night Live? Like Charlton Heston was like doing the book on tape.
Oh, Nathan. Well, you can see there in the chat, somebody just made a comment about like how they captured my special moments.
Caveman were painting Joe's special moments on walls. Yeah,
that's one way. Jesus Christ!
I'm sure she's seen a lot of those cave paintings.
Yeah.
That's
when Joe's taking her down to the catacombs of his house, and
especially ones that say "Help me, help me! He's a maniac!" Police.
This is I didn't mean to. All right, hang on. This is actually. Please be a. Okay, good. It's not a WebMP file or whatever the fuck those are. This is actually a picture from Joe and Jenny's first date after he bought her the McDonald's. It's uploading now.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You dick. It's fucking terrible.
Man, who brought the gift? Did she bring in the gift or you, Joe? I suppose she brought it for you because you are the charity case. So.
That is an old son bitch. Not that old, goddammit. I'm not that old.
How old are you? How old are you?
Not that old. But God damn it. How about we get
52.
Shut up.
Like I said, Joe will be doing the show from a nursing home here pretty soon.
But Jenny will soon move in with him, so.
Just say it, she'll take care of my old ass. Son of a bitch. Let's talk about first how the comic was shitty back in the day for the Cosmic Key, and then a little bit of a makeover. Did you? Oh, I don't know. Do you have the pictures of it so we can show how quick and shitty this? Okay.
Well, the thing is,
evil
too,
cloud.
The thing is, too, we actually did a. I'll recover what episode number it was. We actually did a mini comic spotlight on this a little like 2.5 years ago. So once I give you the episode number, if you want to go back and sort of listen to that and our thoughts then, obviously not much has changed between that. But this is the shortest mini comic of that original run. It's only 6 pages long. The art is not that good in it at all.
It's terrible. I mean, it's not as bad as like the Leech and Montana mini comic, but it's still it's not great. I mean, Skeletor looks passable in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know who everybody is. Gwildor, the movie characters look the most offensive. Like, they look very... Which Blade's look is based on the prototype, which is why he looks so
that
different.
prototype figure, yeah.
It does make you wonder, like, the origin of, like, why this... Like, when you got a movie coming out, Mattel put all this money into helping finance the movie because Canon fucked them over. Like, why... Like, trying to promote this movie on their end... A 6-page mini comic that doesn't really encourage the kids to go watch the movie.
But hey, that pause the sorrow strikes on that other page before that one, before that there on that panel.
Yeah,
is it just my imagination or is that swiped from somewhere? Because it looks very familiar.
I want to. Yeah, there's it does seem like it's a very similar, which it almost kind of makes me think that Bruce Timm may have drawn this because that Skeletor is very Bruce Timm-like, at least if you look at some of the books that he did.
Was it credited in the mini comic book?
Copied.
I don't think so.
It's probably copied from Bruce Timm rather than Bruce Timm drawing this. Well,
yeah, it may have been that too because the art's very inconsistent. Like Gwildor looks so poorly drawn, but Skeletor looks very well done.
Yeah,
I'll just look it up real quick while we're
Well, while Tyler's looking that up, Joe, what is the basic premise here of this mini comic? What are we trying to accomplish here?
Let's hot shit with this fucking cloud and shit, and with Gwildor. It is just absolutely forgetting. Evil. I'm sorry, evil cloud. But it's I don't understand why.
By the evil cloud.
No, I honestly just don't understand. It's like if they were trying to have a mini comic come out and in a way, promote the movie or hype the movie or something and talking about the cosmic key, it's like, why wouldn't you focus more on that? Like, have the reasoning of, how it was created, have a little backstory of Gwildor, and then how it was created, and then how it leads into, and then it ends almost like cliffhangering how it would lead into the movie. At least that way you have something that's it's got you reeled in, you're biting, and then, hey, now the movie comes in and explains it. But to have this just hot pile of shit, I never...
Look right here.
Look at it. Oh my
God. You could literally have you're right. Like they should have done as a prequel to the movie.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. A lead up to it. Exactly.
Have the story be about the evil Lynn stealing the cosmic key from Gwildor.
And that was gonna be my thought too.
Skeletor invading Eternia, Eternals, whatnot, taking over, and then you end it with continued in Masters of the Universe movie.
That's what I meant. That's how it would have been the perfect way of doing it. I mean, even a little bit of Gwildor and how it was created and them getting that from him, and it ends like that, and then bam, goes into the movie. But why they wasted... I feel like, I don't know, like they maybe weren't even thinking about a mini comic. They had the figures. Maybe they thought, oh, we can't really go in depth. Let's just create some shit. But why do that? Why put such a bad taste in people's mouth? Because some people were, how it was, even me. Like when I seen the movie, I was like, I didn't do backflips over it, but I started to love it and appreciate it more as I got older. But then you read a mini comic that's not only shortest, but it's one of the most nonsensical ones that you'd read. It's like, that's the fucking story of this?
It ends by, like, Human, throw your sword at the cosmic key, and then he throws it, and Evil Cloud is like, whew,
yeah.
Bye.
And drawn so poorly at that. It's nonsensical, but as I just shown that there, just to have like a little tornado whirly effect from the planet makes...
How does that even work in space?
And nobody talks about this fucking mini comic. You know how people want to talk about a lot of the other ones as their favorites, but this one I don't think this is on the top of anybody's list of being a great...
I mean, if this found its way on the top of someone's mini comics list, there's definitely something wrong there.
Well, you can bet that someone on Twitter likes this mini comic.
Well, there's always got to be one person. Maybe
or maybe the good people at Mattel who thought, like, 6-page mini comic, this is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, let's run with that and fucking make shit. The one cool thing, though, at least about the back, there's variants. One has one way it looks. The other has that skull from the Powers of Grayskull line that they were going to use for that card art for their card fronts. That's on the back. And I remember as a kid looking, I was like, what is this thing? Like, I didn't understand what the hell it was. And then years later, we seen the actual card fronts for those figures back in the day. I was like, holy shit, that's the image from the back of the mini comic. So...
That's weird. Like, were they originally intending to have a advert for the Powers of Grayskull line at the end? It's like, what the fuck was going on with this comic book?
Yeah, it's a different choice. It is. It's not a choice. Go ahead.
Now, the one I had the cross artwork of the 3 movie figures with like that little yellow film strip on the back of the one that I had when I was a kid. I think I had 2 of them because I had Gwildor and Blade. But it definitely should have encouraged kids to go see the movie by definitely setting up Gwildor, creating the Cosmic Key. I even thought Evelyn appearing as like, Nadira, or a kind of a peasant woman who befriends him and hears about him and asks these questions and says, Skeletor's abducted my parents and he's, I'll never see him again. As the way, you're a blacksmith, you make master keys, or just playing up on his sympathies of, I'll never see my parents again, or something like that. Kind of tying into like Gwildor setting up Courtney Cox's character, Julie, sending her back to see her parents again. And then even like setting up the invasion of the city, which if you look, it's very briefly open in the film that the Sorceress is overlooking Eternia, and you see a city below Grayskull, which kind of plays up in the movie. That's the city that got invaded by Skeletor and his forces, but Mattel was kind of trying to tie in like the toy line stuff, a little bit of the movie stuff. It's kind of like an amalgamation of a little bit of everything. So it almost makes sense. Like the Royal Palace probably would have been like one of the things that would have been invaded, I think. And then setting up how Skeletor got Grace. So, I mean, you could be doing it in a 14-page mini comic. 6 pages, that's really hard to tell unless it's like a summary mini comic, like 2 pages of Evelyn befriending Gwildor. She transforms, Evelyn snatches it and disappears, and then Gwildor looks and sees he's still got the prototype there. Seeing shots of the Eternals being invaded with which would help establish why there are no other heroic warriors in the story, because you could say like Snoutspot, Extendor, and Rear Blast are dealing with a cosmic key door that opened up the fertile plains, or at on the outskirts of the royal palace, like Clampchamp and Fisto and Cyclo are dealing with another door, and the new warriors like Karg, Sorod, and Blade are helping lead a lot of these invasions, which sets them up as the finest warriors that are being picked to handle the next mission to go capture He-Man and the Cosmic Key. And maybe amplify Beastman's role too. Like I like to feel like there's a purpose. Like when Evelyn says, "I've selected your finest warriors." Like in this moment of triumph that Skeletor's going through, his guys are winning left and right. These new recruits that Skeletor's hired are kicking ass left and right. They're ransacking this and then taking over that, and that's why they're looked upon as like why they were chosen for this extremely important mission that they have yet to fail. I mean, it's just there's so much you could do with that, and I think it'd be fun to have if you had to be 6 pages, it could be done in a summary for a child to like show images of the palace being invaded and a cosmic key portal open. You got Cobra Khan being led by Blade, and you got Triclops and Jitsu and Spyco running in. I mean, there's all kinds of fun things you could do with that to kind of help sell the toy line, but amplify why these characters are so important. At the end of it, Skeletor, claiming Grayskull, and to find out what happens next, kids, you got to go see the live action film.
Yeah, because that mini comic did not inspire anybody to go to the theaters. Definitely, I wouldn't. If there was a kid and they looked at that, they're like, I don't want to see this movie because what the fuck is going on in this?
Yeah, the toy commercial was more inspiring to see the movie than.
Yeah, I do like the toy commercial a lot. Toy commercial was good.
By the way, so I forgot. Were there 2 cosmic keys in the movie?
Mm-hmm. The prototype and the one that Skeletor stole, or Evelyn stole and gave to Skeletor.
So wait, what happened to one of the keys?
Skeletor fries it on the rooftop. The one that He-Man takes from Evelyn, which is the prototype, which is still functioning and still can do everything else that the kind of more modern, the more upgraded, the one that Skeletor has in possession.
It's been a while since I seen the movie.
No,
that's okay.
No, Deucin, don't you can't put that out there, because now they're going to try to take this as we got to do another topic about the movie again, and I'm going to be like, ugh.
Well, we did just miss, the anniversary here, so.
I really loved watching Nathan. He was dead fucking serious after X amount of time. He's like, I don't ever want to talk about that fucking movie again. He just did not want
I like the movie. Every time I watch it, I have a greater appreciation for it. I like it
just
more
the
and more
discussion.
Just the discussion. I'm like, we've talked that thing to death, man.
But this too, you could even throw in She-Ra in a cameo. Since she was scheduled to be in the movie up to a certain point, you can even have her set up that she's on Eternity when all these invasions started taking place. Adora was visiting, and boom, you don't see her because she's wrapped up in fighting, Jitsu and Sorod and Karg.
Let me ask this question: in terms of the movie figures being released in that wave and the movies release, how much time was there in between there? Does anyone know specifically?
Don't know. I mean, the movie came out in August, so I'd imagine most of the toys probably were released before the movie came out, or pretty close.
They were. I'm just trying to think of how much in advance.
I don't think I got the movie toys until '88. That's when I noticed them.
Well, I figured Joe would probably know more than anybody just because he was in his mid-40s.
Yeah, fuck off. No, I don't know how much in advance they were released for the movie, but I couldn't tell you if it was like 6 months, 3 months, whatever. I honestly can't remember that.
I asked that because when you think about it, if the figures in the mini comic itself are gonna be out on the shelves a few months prior to the movie's release, they would have had way more of the resources of like all the pre-production stuff, like the art direction. They could have taken those things and implemented those into the mini comic without a doubt. It's not like they were doing it on the fly with no knowledge of what's gonna.
Well, right. I mean, that's why, like I said, when you see, because when. Just like Tyler mentioned earlier, like that early look of Blade from his early figure. They use that.
That's typical of these things.
No, true.
To show early designs because they have to make it and finish it on time. So even though it may have been released a few months before the movie, it also took a few more months to make it and produce it.
But I still love those. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, as for the figures, I mean, I loved them. I remember anytime there was a new figure that came out, I lost my shit. So in no way when I seen these three characters did I think, oh, what are these dumb fucking things? I was like, this is cool as shit. See, unlike a lot of people that sit there and they always want to, when they want to complain about the 87 movie, their complaints are, there wasn't no Orko, there wasn't Battle Cat, and it wasn't on Eternia, which I didn't give a fuck about those. I'll be honest, those things there, it's like I could understand even back then why they couldn't do it, but it's like I didn't care. I seen new characters, and it wasn't like I was like, I don't want this Gwildor or Saurod or Blade. I was like, look at these fucking guys. It was cool. We always craved newer characters, so that made me think, all right, what are these guys going to be like in the movie? How cool could this be? So for me, the figures got me excited about the movie, whereas the mini comic just left a bad taste in my mouth. I was like,
well, for the most part, when you guys would get the figures in the mini comic, the vast majority of the time did a good enough job of complementing the figure that you got to make you excited as a whole for everything. So having that missing piece, and just it's baffling that they only went with 6 pages. That's so weird.
Yeah, and it's not like they didn't have plenty of time because the movie adaptation had come out and they still used the prototype look of Blade.
That's what I'm saying. Like they had these resources, and yet so someone said, where was it? Yeah, Rebel Wookiee, gotta love a sentient tornado. Like why? It's too weird. As Tyler said, you could take, and Joe said that like you were both kind of in sync with each other with that, of just saying like, that mini comic should have been a good prologue companion piece to follow you right into the movie, to explain things that aren't necessarily fleshed out when you're going and sitting there.
I mean, not so many to explain things, but to prepare you. For the movie. As a
so that way, it's not because which as a kid it didn't bother me that you jump right into it already, like Skeletor's already won, like boom, we're off and running. But it would be cool in context, looking back at it, to see all these little details and things that are mentioned. Like just this whole interaction of Gwildor seeing this beautiful woman. Did Evelyn show up as just Evelyn? Because he's never seen her before. But obviously he did find out that she's from Snake Mountain because he says that in the film. But that's what made me feel like she must have came to him as a beautiful woman in need of something and befriends him and, becomes fixated on wanting to know more about his work and maybe paints a picture of sorrow that she's lost her family or something like that, or that she would love to learn about what he does. And him being such a kind soul and a peaceful race, as he says in the movie, he tells her everything, how it works, how it operates. That a time had to be spent to learn how to use that thing. So that way when she takes it and takes it back to Skeletor, he learns how to use it. And then there's so much fun to be had with like the vast invasion of Eternia, that he could send forces. The robots, like the establishment of the robots that he's now using. There's robot troops, dispersing them and all these evil wars all over Eternia. And so you can sit there and say that Spikor and Jitsu and Too Bad do exist at the time this movie's going on. We just don't see them because they're,
off doing
doing something else and succeeding at it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's everything's, they're overwhelmed. They established at the beginning of the film that how many units are left. You see all these like attorney and guards, like dead or captured, like they're and so you can see all these heroic warriors are still fighting. It's they're being the rebels. What the Great Rebellion is going through. They're constantly fighting. So while He-Man, Tila, and Man at Arms have got stuck, or they're stuck on Earth, everyone else is on Eternity trying to fight all these forces that have won. I think even in one of the original scripts, they're underground. I think.
Okay. Yeah, and I was going to say, and I can't remember the newspaper strip stories too much, but wasn't there? Did Evelyn she was an imposter, acted like she was a Thenorian, like a female, and that wasn't that one of the,
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've looked at the book. I'm sure Danielle knows. Deucen definitely knows. I'm sure.
Yeah. So I mean, they could even played with an aspect like that of acting like somebody that was maybe in love or falling for Gwildor to get all the information, and it was Evelyn just posing as this female Thenorian, and then got the key, got all and then just
yeah. And you could have so much fun with that, or even having her stage, being attacked by Blade and Thorod, and that Gwildor rescues her. And that's how she befriends him to earn his trust. And
then you lead into explanation of the cosmic key.
Yeah, and he takes her back to the lair. That's why Karg would know exactly where to go to find Gwildor. Like he could be part of the space attack.
You could show like Evelyn activating a homing device.
Yeah. To kind of like that way when she's ready to take it, Karg and some of the troops, or Blade, or Beastman, or Sword is outside ready to take her, and they take the cosmic key, open her doorway, and head back to Snake Mountain. And then Gwildor's like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And next thing you know, he's been captured.
Picture this scene, like so you have Karg and troopers just break the doors of Gwildor's home, and then Evelyn in her disguise approaches Gwildor, smirking, grabs the cosmic key, transforms into Evelyn. And Gwildor is all like, "Oh shit!" Grabs his head, and the villains open up a portal. They go to Grayskull or wherever. You move on from there, or you just end it like continued in the movie.
To be continued in canon films, Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, it's such a even in like the movie adaptation we got, like there's still. I mean, there's little snippets in there, but there's nothing else that kind of expands upon stuff in the movie that we get hints of, or you start to think about. Like a mini comic like this really could have added extra context to all these things. Oh my God, so that's what happened, or this is like seeing how Skeletor breaks into Grayskull and takes over the Sorceress. That would be a great way to end the mini comic, along with seeing how outnumbered He-Man and the heroic warriors are. That our guys were spread so thin. Like how the hell do we stop this invasion? Skeletor's not only one, he's got Grayskull too. We're fucked.
And that would have been great for 16 pages, and it could have worked. And quickly, like earlier when Dushin, you were asking about Sorod, and I was like, I think it's a pose from King of the Snake Man. I'm gonna send to Nathan.
When he comes out of the snake pit, Snake Mountain. He's holding his shield,
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what it looks like they stole it from. So I just sent the image to Nathan so he can pop it up, and I think that's what you were seeing.
I'm uploading now. But also, I want to ask you guys this then. If we are indeed... Okay, there we go. If we are redoing this and making it... taking the ideas that we have, are you going to make He-Man look more like he would in the movie instead of over just the traditional?
I had thought a while back, because when me and Carson, who did the Leech mini comic with him, like our plan was actually do a 3-part prequel story to the live action movie. I was going to give a reason why He-Man has a different outfit. To kind of, it's not like a big thing, but it was to set up like an origin story, like of his first encounter with Blade, and to kind of give a reason why He-Man has a new outfit. My idea was that Skeletor was like, all right, if you're really as good as you say you are, I don't want you to kill He-Man. Bring me his power harness. Because as we all know, the Evelyn's plot, his power harness has got cordite fashioned into it to enhance his strength. So prove that you can deliver this one prize to me, and I'll make you one of my top warriors. So
it
in the
was
fight,
it was
Blake,
much like when Merman
Like Merman.
kicked his
I
ass.
Yeah.
was
Well,
going to say that to bring it up. I hate those fucking people. Merman kicked the shit out of him, took his harness. Like, no, he fell out of the sky sled. He about knocked himself out. It's like, son
I
of a
do
bitch.
not acknowledge that horse shit.
Oh my
Yeah,
god! But here,
No,
look at that
no.
pose and then bam, that pose.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, they
So,
ripped it
but,
off.
how about this origin for the movie costume? What if it's like what if it's something that He-Man is quickly given in Castle Grayskull as it's being taken over? Like this new outfit accumulates the reserve power of Grayskull to keep you transformed as He-Man, whilst Skeletor is in control of the castle, and you have like X amount of days to liberate Grayskull until its power fades.
Or like when the eye of Grayskull opens up.
Yeah.
It's like that when Skeletor drains all that. That's when like He-Man has to use his mortal strength, so to speak. You can only I'd be cool with that idea, like some sort of like another. It would justify making another variant of He-Man, but a movie-inspired variant to justify why He-Man's outfit looks so drastically different. That in this world he does wear the traditional power harness and the look that we're all accustomed to, along with all the other variants. But I mean, I feel like in some stuff you don't have to justify the drastic changes in looks. Like this is just how it looks in the movie. Like in the movie adaptation, the movie characters look like the movie characters, but everyone else, like Evelyn, Skeletor, Teela, Man-at-Arms, and He-Man, they all look like the toys.
Oh, I guess it would be. It would make.
Also made that movie adaptation really interesting because, like, for anyone who wasn't pleased with the look of the movie, has the comic book adaptation, which, like, when I was a kid, I just didn't like the movie designs, but I then later got to see the comic book adaptation, and I was like, "That's good. This is how it should have been."
I think that works. Having that familiarity to the designs would definitely benefit that in that regard. Like Deucen said, if you're not really digging too much on how they looked in live action, to have that there to just that instant you recognize it instantly, then that's makes sense.
I mean, I get that because like kids are having easier access to getting a comic book than going to the movie theater. You know, which is why I feel like a lot of the 80s cartoon films that came out in theaters, like the Transformers and My Little Pony and GoBots, like they were all flops. Like they didn't make money. Obviously, I guess back then, I don't know if kids didn't have as much. You know, parents weren't taking their kids to see a lot of animated films back then. I think Care Bears was like one of the few films in the 80s that was children based that made money. The others were flops, so that's why Jim got shit canned and the G.I. Joe movie went straight to video.
Yeah,
because they weren't making money.
Well, there was that.
The same year.
It was in that decade. Even Disney was struggling.
Yes, they were.
So weird.
Black Cauldron didn't make any money. They're re-releasing a lot of films in the 80s. Like I think Snow White came back out again in the 80s.
They did that with. I think it was like Snow White, Bambi. Like they re-released all.
Jungle Book came out again. I think the late 80s. I think
of that gimmick
or 90s.
Where it's like see it now and you'll never get to see it again.
I remember
back in the
DVD.
vault.
Yeah, back in the vault.
Yeah, exactly. The vault. There's a video on YouTube about that whole thing.
Oh my god!
It's funny to me. There are still people out there that think that the clamshell VHS tapes are worth thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're not.
Yeah.
Who knows how many?
Hey, Emily.
How many of those are still playable? Because, like, for example, like James tried to get an Italian VHS of Filmation Flash Gordon animated movie. And you would think, oh, great, like we have it in best possible quality. But when that tape got transferred, so much of it just deteriorated. Like the picture had constant interference. So like you literally have to hunt for a good copy. If you find it for a good price, it's just
one thing, Deucen, about that. Now, it's not a clamshell case, but one of the almost, I think, last VHS tapes from Disney was Cars. Did you ever see the price of what that runs for on eBay? It is fucking fun. Just type in Cars VHS. Holy shit. So now everybody out there listening, if you go flea market or thrifting, look for Cars on VHS.
What the hell?
How much is it going for?
All right, so there's one for $3,200, $2,800. Are you sure these? Are you sure this isn't just?
No, this is legit.
No, it's
this
genuine.
fucking that's genuine. That's what I said when you were talking about the.
I mean, is it because it didn't? There wasn't like a massive amount.
That was right when DVD
VHS release.
Yeah. It was the last VHS release. They didn't have as many as the others, and that's when DVD was just basically. I mean, well, it was already hot, but they weren't barely doing any VHS, and that was one of their last ones they did. Not many on the run. So remember, when you go to yard sales or anywhere, if you see that fucker on VHS, get it. Especially if they're like, "Hey, you want it for $1?" Sure, I'll take that for $1.
Pay for a whole semester of your kid's college education.
Yeah, that movie
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Too.
Cars.
I didn't like it at all.
It's fine. It's definitely not Pixar's best at all. But
It's like that's this short Disney cartoon about with the same premise of living cars. You know that from 1950s was it or something like that. It's like. For that short, it was fine, but for a whole movie, it's like.
Well, and then if you really start thinking about it, so these cars are like people, but then there's other cars, but I'm like, how are they repopulating? Are these cars fucking each other?
Because people have to make cars.
Are there baby cars? Like, what the hell's going on?
How do they refuel? Because in the 1950s short. There are people around, so cars are being made by people. Or
it just come off like a very lazy idea. Well, the next thing you know, they'll make a movie about books, talking books, which the Page Master already beat him to that.
I was about to bring that up. That piece of shit.
Yeah, the Page Master.
Mm-hmm.
It has some cool moments in it, but it did not like the live action stuff was just lame and stupid. But I mean, there was some. The animation looked cool.
The live action portion is short, so.
I know it wasn't as epic as I thought it was going to be when I was a kid, though. But the Moby Dick sequence was very well animated. It looks very cool. I think that's really about it.
Patrick Stewart, Frank Welker. It had a good cast.
I mean, it's got a good cast. But I didn't.
Also Leonard Nimoy was in that movie too.
Who did he play?
Was it Frankenstein? I think,
or Dr. Jekyll?
Scientist. Yeah, Dr. Jekyll. I think.
Did he play Dr. Jekyll?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie since my brother got it. I think on VHS. I think for his birthday.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I saw it on TV in the 90s.
Yeah, Dewson is correct. Leonard Nimoy, Dr. Henry Jekyll. Whoopi Goldberg played Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before she went crazy.
Well, Christopher Lloyd plays the librarian / the kind of the wizard in the movie.
Joe's just sitting there like, I don't know what you're talking
about. Christopher Lloyd.
What's a Page Master?
Joe, you know that show Taxi? Christopher Lloyd is from that.
Oh yeah, no, he played Jim.
Yeah.
Always having the hair going crazy. Yeah. I remember Taxi. Hated that theme song. That was one of those shows that I told you. If I heard the theme song,
what's wrong with the theme song from Taxi?
I hate it. It's just boring. It's just shit. It's just not.
It's not mellow music.
I hate mellow music though. I needed excitement. I was always wired as a kid. As a kid, I still am.
Show about Taxi.
No, I need I need some energy and shit. And I remember I was like, I don't want to watch it. And then I started watching. Hey, this is a funny show.
Joe. It's not 18.
I know, but it sucks. I just did not.
You probably got hyped up when you heard the Facts of Life theme, didn't you, Joe?
I like the Facts of Life and different strokes.
I bet you, that's a song I hate. That and the theme song from Growing Pains.
And I like Growing Pains. They have a real good one. They have a really nice one. The acapella one of that Growing Pains, really fucking awesome. It is a real good one.
It's not. It's lame.
No, it's a really good one. There's one where they sing it in this different way. Oh, it's emotional.
I'm trying to remember how the Growing Pains theme went.
Oh, I remember as a kid hating that theme song. Oh,
I love that. But
Joe, can you sing it for me just a little bit, but not enough to where we're gonna get like shut down?
Show me that smile again. Don't waste another. Remember, but there's a really nice one where it's acapella. Okay. It's from season 6. I love it.
Stop saying really, acapella.
Okay, do that one. Do that one.
No, I can't sing like that though, but I love it though. God damn it.
That's what Joe and Jenny. That's what their first dance is going to be to at their wedding.
The theme of growing pains.
Yeah, the acapella.
Wait, no. I actually did say that to Jenny.
Do you like the theme of Love Boat?
Love Boat.
No, I hate Love Boat and I hate MASH. MASH is another one. It's like, oh my god, I can't.
I love
MASH is a great show. Well,
I hate that theme.
It doesn't hold up as well though as an adult. That was all was on TV when me and Eric were at the beach about like 4 years ago. I'm like, God, this show is not funny. Like all TV Land was playing. I'm like, God, it just wasn't that. I
don't like the theme. I don't like the show. I don't like nothing. I just never liked MASH.
Well, the MASH theme song is instrumental because the lyrics.
Yeah, I like that.
That suicide stuff. Yeah, that
suicide is painless. Is one of the lyrics of.
Yeah, that was crazy shit. Yeah. So. Yeah, I need stuff like that's fun. Three's Company and fucking shit like that.
Yeah, Three's Company. I'm fine with that theme.
Yeah.
How about Different Strokes?
I love it. Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. And Webster's got a good.
Not good for some.
How about
I'm sorry.
It's not 70s or 80s, but we gotta give a little love to Step by Step.
Oh God. No,
Give me a break.
What a great theme song.
Give Me a Break has 2 different versions. Well, actually 3 kind of. I like Give Me a Break. Give Me a Break is good too.
How about Family Matters? Love and Condition. A brand new design.
Hey, no, that shit's great, man.
Yeah. No, I didn't mind Family Matters. That was one thing I didn't mind hearing that because it was catchy,
Yeah, it was all right.
How about the Dinosaurs theme?
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
It's just music. It's like you're seeing like the dinosaurs' feet, don't, and he gets home and there's this like kind of this kind of
whimsical. Bullshit.
Yeah, like hijinks ensue, and because everyone's kind of dancing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean,
how about My Two Dads?
Wait, I know that.
Oh, Joe knows how the theme goes.
Hey, I know one. Joe, do you know the theme of the Incredible Hulk?
Piss off! It was.
He can't sing it or he'll shit his pants.
Yeah. I was a kid. I was young. He scared me, and I shit my pants and back of back of the couch while he was transforming into the Incredible Hulk. It scared the shit out of me.
Joe
literally
just runs behind the couch and just takes a shit.
I wonder if Joe's like pushing out of him, like.
I was scared. My parents had to explain. He's like, no, he's a good guy. He scared the shit out of me.
Well, Joe's got his legs up there, and his ass is being wiped.
28 years old.
Dumping powder on him.
Joey, you're 28. You can't be doing this anymore.
Oh shit! There was a lot of good songs though back in the day. We'll have to do that. We'll have to cover fucking.
How did we even get on the topic of like TV shows from back then?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have to go back and watch that and find the exact moment that brought us to talk about that.
Shit.
I love the Sanford and Son music. Just the music.
Oh yeah.
Oh, classic as hell. I love that.
That theme is an earworm. It gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Joe. Come on. No.
The Brady Bunch was always like I don't. It's not something I would want to listen to on its own, but for what it was, like it's a classic. The Brady Bunch theme.
What happened to Dushin? He get tired of this shit?
No.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, I actually have it set up now, so like if your camera goes out, it won't show the thing. I've switched it to where you just go audio only and your camera goes away. So.
One that definitely I like listen to. Oh, look at that! That's great. You get nervous there, Joe? You got bubble guts?
God damn. Yeah,
watch out, Joe. That was a wet one.
His frequent blowouts.
Oh God.
Is the theme for In Living Color, like season 2. The season 2 opening of In Living Color is one of the one of Nathan's favorite guys, Heavy D, sang that song.
Dude, I have a Spotify playlist that I found, New Jack Swing. It's like one of my favorite genres of music ever. I love it. Now, some of the songs, granted, as they start playing, a lot of them have the same sort of beats to them, and it's sort of samey. But God, it gets me thinking about. I think the reason I fell in love with that genre anyway is because the vast majority of the songs on the Ninja Turtles 1990 soundtrack are New Jack Swing. And I love that fucking genre. But yeah, Heavy D and the Boys, hell yeah.
Yeah. A lot of those like 90s hip hop songs, you know, I still to this day, I love Mr. Vane. Like God, I love that song. Whenever that would come on the radio when I was a kid, like, oh my God, this is like one of the coolest songs ever. Yeah. Be My Lover by LaBouche. I think it was the name of the duo.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I just think about early 90s, like, you know, and when, toys and cartoons were still good, music was excellent.
Some of those songs, it will transport me back to just being in the backseat of my parents' car, driving to Hills.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go get a toy today. And that song's playing.
Or coming home from the mall at night and having one of those songs play.
Yeah.
Did you guys like Scatman?
It's at the time it was fine.
I never wanted it to have on its own. Like if it was on, it was kind of like,
I get nostalgic for the song still.
Yeah.
If it comes on, I'm like, I think of the memories flood back to that period of time, mid '90s, like going to the mall, as Tyler said. There's a lot of those. Oh, we're going out of state to go to this way bigger mall, and then these songs are playing on the way down because the top 40 hit stations is like, oh, we're playing that. And
which I'm glad you said it, because I felt like when I tell Erica about like why some of these songs like hit me in a certain way, because I said I never knew the names of so many of these like late 80s and early 90s songs, because I'd be in the back seat, we're on our way to Hills or Roses, and this music's playing. I don't know the name of it, but I would always associate like Pet Shop Boys, West End Girls, like with going to Hills. Sitting in the back seat of the car, going to Hills, or hearing Can We Talk by Telvin Campbell coming home from the mall.
Yeah.
From going to KB Toys and Jolly Time Arcade.
Yeah.
Life was so simple and good back then. And then you're thinking, oh my God, when I get home, I have a six math problem, all addition and subtraction I got to do when I get home. And you think life is so hard.
You just wait.
Yeah.
I was just like, I can't wait to grow up.
I know. I ain't gonna do this shit anymore.
Yeah, but then it's funny thinking about that, because growing up, my parents would tell me, older relatives, aunts and uncles would tell me all the time, enjoy this, enjoy being a kid, because once you get older, it's not the same. And now I just look back on that and I'm like, well, obviously they were right, but I've found myself actually saying that a time or two to younger people that I know that are just out of high school, working at a job or something, and I'm like, enjoy it.
And they're like, shut up, old man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But but I feel like you never can truly understand it until you have gotten older. Like I can tell my nephews right now but it's going to go one ear and out the other, and they just want to keep playing and having fun. But you know what? That's what a kid is supposed to do. A kid is not supposed to be thinking about, God, if I don't enjoy this particular Friday, I won't be. I'm going to regret it. It's like, no, you live in the moment there. But it's, hopefully for a lot of people to listen to this, and all of us here, we had fun childhoods. Like we all come from different, backstories of how, we're here talking about He-Man and She-Ra. Like we all have our stories with it. We have fond memories of it, and we're here to celebrate. And because honestly, I never want to grow up. Like, yeah, you pay bills and do adult stuff, but we're here because we still hold on to our childhood.
I mean,
and I
literally all around us, we can just pick it up and hold it if we want to.
Yeah, especially look at Joe. He literally has a cardboard mask on.
Yeah. But I just think it's great that when we get older and realize you start thinking like, man, I really wish I could go back to the video store and just rent all these great cartoons and set my toys up and just look at them and like, oh, I never got to have that guy, but no, but awesome. And then knowing that you're not the only one out there who had these thoughts of like, I wish I could go back and watch that again or buy that over again. Oh, I wish I still had it. Wish my mom didn't sell that in the yard sale or throw it away or
It
whatever.
was the simplicity of it all, of not having all the information that you could just find presented to you, discovering new things like that in a way that was way more magical than it is now. Like,
Yeah, because you actually had to leave the house and whatever stories that were around you, or if you went out of town and it was a big deal to go to a mall or another toy store that you're not familiar with, like, oh my God, look what they've got here.
Yeah.
And it just makes that one time going there all the more special. Like you found that one character from that one toy line that you've never seen again, but it was out of state and you'll never go there again. And it's fun to think about those times like that. You know, it's where the hell am I going with this?
I'm with you on that. There are times that I think about that too much, or Spotify playlist. If you find like an 80s or like early 90s radio hits, you could look up, and all these songs are going to play. And if you're just listening to them, I've done this so many times, just sitting there in the living room, it's playing, and like I'm playing a video game or something, and all these memories, boom, 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 one after the other, and it's not depressing, but it just makes me
melancholy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can make you depressing about the present time.
Well,
it can do that.
You know the Beverly Hills Cop theme. Like it has those perfect nostalgic sounds, especially when that quiet beat kicks in. It's like with those synthesized flutes, like sounds, like that's so fucking magical. Like that just pulls you back to those times. It pulls you back to the times when life seemed more hopeful than it is today. Because like today, it's like I don't want to get dark, but it's pretty hopeless.
No, I'm with you on that one too.
But that's why we have this, and why we still continue to champion the stuff that we don't ever want to die. Because the minute we stop championing it, it will die. And I like that our passions for all these properties that we talk about, and movies that we just it was better. Well, because you know what, I think it's safe to say quality is no longer there anymore. It's everything is just get the shit out there. I don't care if it works, if it looks good, just put it out there. Someone will buy it.
After the 90s, the quality just started going down the hill faster and faster and faster, and now we have just a bunch of corporate junk.
And it's. I feel like people were they had to try because we had so many juggernauts, from movies to cartoons and toys and even video games, because things were so groundbreaking, cutting edge. Everyone else, like, you couldn't be lazy about it. You had to get creative, which is why it was so good to see all these knockoffs of Turtles, all these knockoffs of He-Man, knockoffs of Transformers, knockoffs of G.I. Joe, and all these other original toy lines that weren't knockoffs. They were original ideas, but they got overlooked because of the popularity of all the others. But everyone had to be on their A game. People had,
Yeah, exactly. Whereas nowadays it's just rehash after rehash after rehash. Like, before you could say the same for the copies, that they were rehashes, but those copies try to have an identity of their own, whereas stuff today is literally same IPs over and over again, but each time it's a even more reinvented wheel after reinvented wheel, and it just gets tiresome. Like this thing, you're saying it's for random example, you're saying it's Batman, but it looks less and less like Batman. You're saying this is Transformers, but it looks less and less like Transformers. You say this is He-Man, but this Masterverse junk doesn't look like He-Man. So
yeah.
And in the end, you satisfy no one. Those mythical new fans, they don't give a shit, because they keep chasing these groups of people that never give a shit about this stuff, rather than people who are interested in this stuff who could become new fans.
Yeah, it's an over reliance on just the expectation that we'll buy into it just because it's something that we have already established what we
Recognize.
enjoy. Yeah, just brand
But-
recognition.
But you think though, because obviously there are some companies out there that like to put in their best effort and deliver quality figures. Sure, you'll have hiccups here and there, but they're consistent with like, okay, they want to make sure that the fan base that has kept this property alive is getting something that that they hold to standard. Whereas, a lot of other things is just like, well, we really don't care if it's up to standard because we're not hearing any kind of feedback or flack because the fan base is very laid back about it and casual. And it's like, I'll buy it because it's
it's
here.
even worse than that. It's not laid back. It's not casual. Fan base is being silenced by all these opportunistic.
Well,
flat
you got that too.
Because like
you know.
you have all this, you have a bunch of these opportunistic shitheads who just go around and silence everything, any negative thought. Like they literally try to stigmatize having any negative opinion about anything. Like if you don't like this, you're sexist, you're that and that. It just like these are toys.
Well,
These are movies. These are cartoons. Like we all want it to be better. We know it can be better. So we don't want to satisfy with corporate laziness. We just want this stuff to be represented the way it should be, so it could actually gain new fans.
But also I think the biggest proponent about that, the aspect you're talking about of silencing the negativity is more about if those stories come out, that at least there's attention brought to the thing because no one was noticing it to begin with.
Well,
So,
I look at like the backlash when like Hasbro started out the classifieds, and the looks of the Joes was drastically different than what the fans wanted. And boy, it didn't take long for them to steer the ship in a different direction, and they started going towards the more vintage style in 6-inch and honoring the retro looks. And just, okay, this is what we're going with. This is what's going to make us money. And you know what? It's been a big success for them. And acknowledging the fact that Transformers fans still are going to always be holding the Generation 1 look at top of the mountain. You can do whatever all the versions you want, but you better make sure the Generation 1 styles are still being honored in various sizes and statues and collectibles. And yet with He-Man, Marvel seems to just want to constantly reinvent the wheel and think.
Yeah, but even with Transformers, you get a lot of reinvention of the wheel, and those what little we get of Generation 1, like if it's not coming from Takara, it's just going to be trash. Like the stuff that Hasbro makes. Like if you take a look at bunch of Generation 1 like figures, often what you'll see is really tasteless detailing.
And
like
just as
with all
boring,
these
boring as
lines
Joe
and
looks right now.
gaps and you have
No, I am listening.
We don't know if Joe fell asleep, if he's dead.
No,
he's
no,
not moving at
No,
all.
I've been paying attention to make sure I can still see his eyes blinking at least. So I know he hasn't totally fallen asleep. I was actually going to talk to Joe and just ask him what songs make him feel nostalgic when he hears them, either on the radio or on his cellular telephone when he has Napster. When he uses Napster to get his
LimeWire.
Or LimeWire. Yeah. What songs make you nostalgic, Joe? Give me one good example of a song that every time you hear it, one specific memory that it takes you back to.
Well, it's interesting when you were talking about In Living Color, because I remember recording every single episode, and that's other stuff I have on VHS, every one. And at the end, you remember how they always have a special artist on and they would do a song? Yeah, and it made you want to go out and obviously buy the CDs. I was like CDs.
I thought you were going to say go outside and start dancing with your neighbors or something like that.
Oh, well, there was a lot of those occasions of dancing. There really was. But I don't know if you guys caught when they'll do reruns of In Living Color, like on TV. Well, I know there's FX. There was God, I thought that TV Land 1 or something. There was a couple other channels that did it, but I guess what I'm getting at is when the Fly Girls would dance, the songs that were there are different. And sometimes the end, they don't show it. And I don't know if that's because of rights with like the artists.
Right. It's always the rights.
Yeah, and it just sucks. So it's like, I'm so glad I have all that stuff recorded because I have the originals. Like another thing, and I know Nathan and Tyler, you definitely probably both know, but what irritates me is something with WWF, now WWE.
Yeah.
Have you ever went back to watch either on their network or even on YouTube and listen to Rick Rude come to the ring? I'm like, what the fuck is that song? It's not his original song. It is something so horrendous. I'm like, what the fuck? How do you guys not own that? That's yours. And the Macho Man Elizabeth wedding song, that's a completely different song. I'm like, what happened? But Tyler, you specifically.
Well, I think of like WrestleMania 1 when I finally saw it. Eye of the Tiger plays instead of Real American. So when I actually got a newer copy, I think on DVD, I'm like, wait, Eye of the Tiger's not playing, and it was like I can't remember what it was. It was, but that's when I started noticing like original broadcasts were being altered because of the rights for the songs. Whereas back then they were like, just play it. There was no issues.
What about Rick Rude? Have you heard the other Rick Rude theme song?
No, I just know like the kind of the saxophone.
It is absolutely butchered. What about you, Nathan? Have you heard this other one? I'm like, what the fuck is it? While you guys are talking, I'm gonna try to find something that I'll send you and you can both listen to because we can't play here.
We'll watch that. You like how Joe? I asked him that one question and he totally didn't give me any song or anything.
No.
He just goes into.
I guess
here's my VHS tape.
But he didn't bring a good point though. Like, but they do it due to all this legal hassle because often these companies, even though they have billions, they don't want to pay royalties. They don't want to. They would rather butcher all these things that people fondly remember than to present them the way they should be, than to just fucking pay royalties. Like recently, Nickelodeon started uploading Ninja Turtles on the channel, and they removed the theme song. And they replaced it with some really obnoxiously cheap version that's so fancy to listen.
But that's why we have you to preserve.
Yeah, but look what they're doing.
I know.
Look what Paramount does. They're literally removing any clips that feature the original intro. Any.
Yeah,
even
some shit is
not the entire episode, just the intro. They obliterate it.
No, but I guess there's a lot of the songs that I'd listen to. It always takes me back to, the 90s and In Living Color and high schools and junior highs and whatever
when
I did.
Peeking through the window.
Wait. How many high schools did you go to?
Wait, shit, never mind. Disregard anything I just said because I messed up the times. Anyways, I always like Ziggy toss it up.
How many years did you spend in high school?
Shut up. There was, like I said, toss it up. Ziggy did that. I liked K7,
Come
one
Baby Come. You got to another.
Pumps in a bump, all sorts of shit. But let me see if I can find that Rick Rude thing while you guys are talking.
Are you in a high school right now?
Shut up.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna unplug from here and plug into this.
Jenny, do you take him to high school?
I gotta plug into there so you guys can't hear the music. So I'm gonna hit mute here and plug into my thing. Hold on.
I can mute you, Joe. It's all good. I don't know why Joe feels the need that he has to listen to it while we're doing the show. We're just gonna I'll play it after the show so we can all watch it together. I have no idea why he's doing
He
that.
wants to time travel. He's going to fade out of this timeline.
Did he just flip me off?
Yes.
No, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know why you're doing that, Joe. We can watch it together after the show. Because now you're just going to mess
Yeah, but he wants to run away the moment we end the stream.
Oh, yeah, that's
like, no, I have to pee. I have to take a shit. Oh, I already did, but I have to change my diapers.
Hold on, shit. I got to get my thing off. Hold on.
Okay.
No, I mean my thing. I had to turn the volume down.
Uh-huh.
I just want to see. Well, you know how you send me shit wanting to see my live reaction. I want to see your live reaction and for everybody else to see.
We'll do that if you stick around after the show instead of just be like, I got to
No, but I mean for everybody to see here. I wanted them to see your faces. But God, did they butcher Rick Rude's fucking theme song? It is a horrendous thing, especially when they'll show some old, pay-per-views on the network, and you're like, and you could tell that it's completely altered. They're trying to talk in a certain way. The crowd sounds muffled because they're trying to filter out all the noise. It's a fucking mess.
Yeah,
they
do that a lot with the ECW themes, and Jimmy Hart produced the rip-off Jimmy Hart themes. Yeah.
Well, let's get to the chat. What do you think about that? If you guys have any questions
I
for
will
us,
say,
whether it's
to close in on the in living color discussion, like I do have like outside of like when the show originally aired, and we would always watch it every Sunday night, like all of us, like my dad, my mom, my brother, all sit and watch it. When it went off the air, we would go to Myrtle Beach, and we had the FX channel whenever we would stay in Myrtle Beach. So like in the afternoon when we come in from the pool to get ready to go out to go play putt-putt or go eat or go shopping, we watched the Batman 60 show and Wonder Woman back to back on FX. And then that night, we come in from a late night swim, and The Living Color would come on at 10 o'clock at night in 2 back to back episodes. So we would all sit down at night and watch the reruns on FX. So FX was a big deal in the 90s because it just to be able to watch the Batman 60 show again and in living color when it was no longer being played, it was like, oh my God, it was just so awesome to know these great shows are still being played somewhere. It made going to Myrtle Beach even more special and magical, back then because of being able to watch it. And hell, they had the Disney Channel back in like the late 80s, early 90s. So being able to watch stuff like that, that we didn't have access at home.
Yeah, and the Disney Channel in the 90s used to show cartoons.
Yes, they did.
They don't, because
Now it's all live
logic.
action, like Disney and Nickelodeon are trying so hard to be like each other. Like all these live action shows with these 14-year-old and 13-year-old kids overacting the hell. Because that's what Bryant watches a lot of times, like these live action shows on Nickelodeon and Disney. And they're all the same. It's just these kids trying so hard to be funny, like with bug eyes. And
There's also a darker side to it. You know that incident with Nickelodeon with the guy that had a foot fetish.
I mean, yeah, you think about that. Any of those people that are in charge in networks like that, there's always going to be some sort of discrepancy. Yeah, just really weird, messed up stuff.
Like,
but
there are compilation videos of all those instances of the scenes that just don't make really any sense.
This is what Deucin does in his spare time, though. He goes on YouTube.
Compilation videos.
Yeah, you have to know your enemies. You have to know your enemies.
Joe's making Deucin makes enemies with everybody in all these companies, don't you, Deucin?
Well, I have to because fuck them.
He's like, well, I got to do something during the day, so he starts up all these feuds and rivalries with everybody. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I did piss off a Netflix producer and who knows who else.
It's just like
someone who works at Mattel by chance. There it is.
Yeah, probably.
Possibly.
Yeah, Deucin on the world tour, pissing off all the companies. Was there any other closing thoughts on? Any other additional things with the Cosmic
I will say, I think it would have been, it could have been done in one, but I think it would have been cool to have a mini comic for all 3 of the movie figures, like one devoted to that character and their story leading up to the events of the live action film. Yeah. Like seeing Gwildor, with like kind of exploring the race of the Thenorians. Like, I didn't like the idea that he comes out of water, even though he has gill slits. He struck me more as like an above ground character, but maybe he could breathe underwater, or that the gills, don't necessarily.
Like in the movie, he lives in a desert.
Yeah, he lives in a cave. There's nothing water related, but he has gills. So when I see him come out of the water, it just kind of seems out of place. And like the gill thing was just more like setting it for a joke for him to shoot water out of his gills at everybody. But I feel like a mini comic based on Gwildor's backstory and his interaction with Evelyn. One of Blade, maybe setting up the history with him and He-Man, and then one of Saurod, which you could do. I mean, there's some, and I like the idea of Saurod being a mute, like someone who doesn't talk, like just the visual of him, and not the sparks out of his mouth. Like I'm glad that was never used in the movie. It's something I would even use with the character moving forward. Even though it's depicted on my shirt here, thanks to Joe Amato.
It's probably something that was done for the toy only. Anyway.
I mean, yeah, and that's why I kind of feel like he is more of an assassin, so to speak. Like he comes off like a cybernetic reptilian assassin, with the claws, the way he moves around, like he would be a very stealth assassin that would be hired by Skeletor to take out certain things or to steal, or much like how Webster is. Like Webster is like a spider-like, thief, escape artist. I could see Saurod being this reptilian cybernetic assassin that'd be selling missions to take out certain people or whatever.
Doesn't he just wear an armor though?
Just wear the armor.
Yeah, like does he have actually any cybernetic parts?
I guess not necessarily. I guess he would be like
Toy-wise, with the sparks coming out, if they would go that way, or even comics where he shoots shit out.
That could be a weapon mounted on the helmet.
Which he could be like how like Lizard Man is like a kind of a frog like man, like this, like whatever race of reptile that is from, like obviously the armor or which you're probably right, Deuce, that it's not necessarily he's a cyborg. It is armor that he's wearing over his body to enhance or protect his body. Like the spikes that are on his mouth where the sparks would shoot out almost look like it would be like a weapon that you could pierce the enemy. Like you leap on their back and then pierce their neck. That would maybe like an inject a poison or something to render a victim helpless when he's getting ready to attack them or something like that.
Maybe even tase them.
Yeah.
Or maybe even tase them.
Tase them. Like I think that'd be kind of cool. That would kind of justify the sparks. Like, pierce like the back of their neck and they get tased and then they're taken out. Like, God, we're onto something here, Deucen. Let's make this happen. Animate this for me, will you? I'll write the script.
Hey, Ren could always draw it.
Ren could draw it. See, I still want to do more of these mini comic stories, but damn it, man, I don't. It's I don't know if I guess we have to set up like a Kickstarter or a Patreon, to get some of this stuff done because Ren's talent is in demand, and it's to get it nailed down. I don't know. Do people want to see this stuff?
I'm pretty sure
Joe could sell more shirts to fund the project.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, he could, but Willie, no.
Shit.
By the way, Joe, I'm still waiting for the Blade cross-sell artwork to add to the collection.
I'll do that, I promise. And
there's also Joe's babies.
Yeah,
that
Joe's
need to be put on a shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Amato's kids.
Yeah.
And if you guys have questions for us, shoot them right here, right now. We'll answer some questions.
Yeah, I have a question. Why are you so pale?
Hey, now you guys see me in person. I was not as pale as that.
Yeah.
Goddamn ET. I'm not that.
Yeah, here's a question from Toki Death Nuts. Toki Death Nuts wants to know, when is the Blade seller going to be put on your TeePublic store?
That's going to be very, very soon, but I'm not that pale. It's the light up here. The light up here makes...
How soon, Joe, can we expect this Blade cross-sell artwork or the Bruce Timm artwork, excuse me, showing up on TeePublic? I don't know.
See, what had happened was, no, I could try that this week.
He feels very weak. He needs to lay down.
Hold on. Heads will be this week. Tails will be in 2 weeks.
Never.
No. Heads. All right, this week coming. Tails. 2 weeks.
Tell Mr. Desmond, obviously his request and my request, Joe would rather leave it to chance as opposed to saying, I'll have it done by the end of the week.
I let my coin speak for me.
You're not two-faced.
Heads.
You're no
So
face.
it's this coming week. It's coming this week.
Yeah.
It is. It said it.
I know how we can fix this problem right now. Toki, listen to this. Hey, Jenny, would you mind doing me a favor? Would you mind asking Joe if he would put the Blade artwork on TeePublic by the end of this? So I get paid on Friday. It would be nice to be able to purchase this new T-shirt design. So would you mind asking Joe if he would do that?
And if she did, I would immediately say yes, and I would do that. Like I said, if she says
so
that,
I'm no longer going to go to you. I'm going to go to the source of the power. So I'm just going to ask Jenny if I need Joe to do anything. Jenny, would you ask him? So yeah. We know what kind of influence she has on you, Joe. So,
but you know what's gonna happen, Tyler? What's gonna happen is that Jenny comes at his place, and Joe's all like, "What's the smell? Is it Ren's perfume?"
You're a dick.
And then Joe's gonna break up with her, and I won't get shit on a T-shirt anymore.
Stop it!
And then I gotta get it back together. Like this big epic adventure ensues. We all go on the road to take Joe up to Jenny's place, and all hell breaks loose on the road, and all these hijinks and tomfoolery.
I mean, that would be a pretty good movie.
James flies over from England to join us, and Tom Brasky shows up to join us, and we pick up Wally Walt on the way. Can you imagine, like, the movie poster of all of us, our heads sticking out of the van?
It's like really it's a mad world.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. On a big road trip to go reconcile Joe.
All
and
for a
Jen.
fucking t-shirt.
Yeah, so I can get that Blade t-shirt.
It's gonna happen.
Hey,
This
it would
coming
be
week.
worth it though. I gotta have it.
We'll hold you to that, Joe.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll definitely happen. Here is a comment from I think someone new in the chat room. This comes from Cherish Hamilton. I love the movie, toys, and the mini comic. Didn't bother me. It took place mostly on Earth. Had kids in the neighborhood refuse to play with me the morning after I saw the movie because I liked Masters of the Universe.
Well, you know what? You didn't need
that's
friends like
fair.
that anyway. So we would have been
Rotten kids.
we would have been neighborhood friends if you had been in my neighborhood. I will tell you that. So
Definitely.
very
No doubt.
cool.
Here,
How didn't they like Masters of the Universe? Like whenever I went to the park as a kid, everyone liked Masters of the Universe.
I don't know. I mean, kids are kids. It's not. I mean, it's in similar tone, but Tyler and I have talked about this before that we liked Power Rangers when it first came out, and there were other kids that probably secretly liked it too, but would also
It was frowned upon.
It was frowned upon, and I look back on it, I'm like, we were 9 years old. That makes total sense to really like Power Rangers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
was in
it was
fourth
frowned
grade
upon
and-
by likes of Joe who were too old to enjoy it.
Shut up. No, but I had friends that loved G.I. Joe and Transformers, and they had tons.
Joe hated
Yeah,
them.
Transformers, we're talking about Power Rangers, you dork.
All right. What's another question, Nathan? Before I
Speaking of
fly
which,
to where-
Joe, did you watch the G.I. Joe movie yet, by the way?
What's the next question you said? I
It's
forgot
on
what that
YouTube.
was.
Do you
for
like
free,
the
you know.
theme? Do you like the theme song?
As if
He fights for
Nathan sending you a
freedom,
copy
wherever
of it
there's
wasn't enough.
trouble. G.I. Joe is there. Do you like the theme song?
It's fantastic. What's the next question you
Yeah,
said?
Here's one from Caillou Harris. Do you think Superman could beat He-Man?
Nope.
Yes.
No.
You funny fan.
Sorry. Yes. All right. What's the next question?
Well, that was quick.
God, yeah.
Here,
Or we just know Joe's full of shit.
here is one from Philippe. Favorite wrestler finishing move? Mine is HBK super kick.
I love the perfect plex and Jake the Snake's DDT.
What about you, Joe?
Well, I was gonna say DDT just because I love how Jake delivered that. I
know. It's because of how he delivered is why it was so good. And a perfect plex was like the ultimate finish. Like you just locked the guy up for the pin.
That was cool.
That's why it was so awesome. Yeah.
I have one.
Oh, sure.
I like the finishing move that Hulk Hogan performed on Richard Belzer.
Oh,
That's a good one. I like that reference.
Yeah, because he really hurt him, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, because watching that live, he fucking
he choked him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The footage is on YouTube. Like, you can watch it. So.
And did he try to sue him or some shit?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Idiot.
And I loved watching Superfly with his splash. There was a way he delivered that splash off the top ropes. Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. I did love watching. And Macho Man's elbow, his flying elbow was a perfect elbow.
I think, Macho Man elbow would be high up on my list. Jake's
that was
DDT.
a perfect one.
I would say also too, Scorpion Deathlock / Sharpshooter.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Those were fun.
Power and Glory, even though I don't like Paul Roma at all, I was never a fan of Hercules. Their finisher of the suplex off the turnbuckle, and then Paul Roma jumps off the adjacent turnbuckle for the pin. That was just a finisher. It was very unique, I thought.
Yeah, FTR actually do that, not as a finisher, but they do it in AEW now. So
that's cool. I like that.
I'm gonna have to. I think my favorite wrestling finishing move of all time has got to be Scotty 2 Hotty's worm.
Oh my god, get the fuck out of here!
I'm being stupid.
God, I hate him. I hate him so much.
It's actually the people's elbow. That's I'm kidding again.
God.
Honestly, Stone Cold Stunner would be very high up on the list just because it's one of the best wrestling finishing moves are those ones that you can do it to any sized opponent and can happen out of nowhere. Diamond Cutter / RKO.
I like the RKO too. That was always a
Diamond Cutter would be up there. It's just it's a good way to just.
Christian had a good finisher too.
Oh yeah, the Impaler.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I always thought
Gangrel's elevated DDT was a good one.
Yeah,
but I think any of those ones, it's like quick snap. It's like holy shit. the match is over.
Yeah, something that doesn't require. Even though I liked like Razor Ramon's Razor's Edge was a cool finisher, but something that a guy could easily just be caught in, and you execute it immediately. Yeah. Like there's no build up to it. Like nothing.
Just boom, it's done. You know?
Yeah, like when they work that finisher, and it's even though Hogan's my favorite wrestler, like there's the build up.
Wait. Hang on, let me stop. Let me stop you right there. Say that one more time.
You've always known that Hogan's always been my favorite wrestler.
Oh God. Ugh.
I don't care. I do not care. I own it.
Fucking dog shit. Between you saying that and Joe being like, Ultimate Warrior is my favorite wrestler of all time. I'm like, oh God, you guys are the worst.
I just got it, too hottie.
Next question.
Yeah. I like how Deuce pulls it anytime it's like wrestling. Same thing with Rebecca. It's like
he's playing Rebecca tonight.
Here's one from Oliver Belmont. Who among the Snake Men would you like to have as your personal entourage? Pick at least 4. Well, that's pretty much picking.
I was going to say,
you have to define entourage to Joe.
Snakeface, Squeeze, shut up, Snakeface, Squeeze, Tongue Lasher, and Blast Attack. Eat that, douche, you fuck bag.
I mean, I would just
robot android.
I would just pick one. Tyler, if you could pick one, who would
Squeeze for sure.
Snakeface.
Yeah. Snakeface for me as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Fuck Dushin. He's sitting there shitting all over Blast Attack. Fuck him. See? What's the next question?
Actually, there's a couple more in here.
Cool.
This kind of ties back into the whole Superman thing. Who wins in what order of this elimination match? Superman, Thor, Hulk, and He-Man. Who would win this 4-way elimination match?
Well, He-Man's going to win it.
They would all be friends. They're heroes.
Yeah, but Deuce, you don't watch wrestling. You don't understand.
Well, if you're going to have interference like from Skeletor, Lex Luthor, and Loki, all in Abomination,
it almost
all running into the ring.
Instead of you saying Lex Luthor, it almost made it sound like you said Lex Luger, and I'm like, that would be pretty funny. He just rolls in on the Lex Express.
Yeah,
God,
and puts everybody in the torture rack.
Yeah,
hits him with the
steel plate.
There. Yeah. I don't know. Because I will say He-Man wins, but like Hulk beating Thor. I mean, or not Hulk beating Thor. Hulk beating Superman. Like that was.
Did you say Hulk beating Thor?
I was trying to say Hulk Superman, not Thor. Because Thor can't beat Hulk.
Did you say feeding instead of beating?
No, there's no feeding.
Hey, see Joe Cox's head. Oh wait,
it's like someone's going to be fed. I want to watch it.
Joe heard it too.
I'm talking about I think I'm referring to the Marvel versus DC, which Nathan and I will talk about on the next spinner rack. Like Superman beats the Hulk in that because the fans voted it. Which I could probably I don't know I have a hard time with that one, and plus Superman is vulnerable to magic. And Thor is not based in magic by any means, but he has a weapon that is.
But it's all supernatural and it counts as magic. So
I think because of that, I think He-Man and Thor alone could take out Superman, and I think the two of them could take out Hulk. So it might come down to Thor and He-Man in the ring as the final two, and then He-Man's worthy of picking up Mjolnir. So, because he can hold the power sword and Thor's hammer at the same time, he takes out Thor. Just like that.
Yeah, it takes away the hammer and Thor transforms back into Don Blake and ta-da!
Yeah.
I guess for some reason...
seeing as He-Man got knocked out by a tree before, I'm saying Superman. What's the next question?
See, I think we need to get rid of Joe because Joe clearly doesn't mind selling He-Man out, and not championing him because he's just being a prick.
He's a heel.
No, you clearly don't. You clearly do not love He-Man.
Well, it's like Joe and people at Netflix have a lot in common. So this
they do. They clearly would rather see other people other than He-Man star in the show.
I don't know why Brad Collins gets the idea that you are behind this, Tyler, unless I'm my brain just whatever. When's the Unsolved Mysteries coming back? We need Deucin. You need to make another. You need to make another Robert Stack.
Oh yeah,
voice thing.
Yeah, I did do that. Like I forgot what it was that it was like something that just never. I don't know if it was like the Powers of Grayskull, like never, or I can't remember what it was.
Wait.
Things that were introduced that was just never like came to fruition or was really delved into much.
Yeah, I've been in a brain fog for like a week.
You should have seen him last night.
Yeah, dude.
he was brain farting all over the place.
Enter the Dragon. I got it right.
Yeah,
such a good part. But no, Deucin, you need to do another Robert Stack thing. And
Maybe.
Let's take one more final question because Joe's getting a little antsy, and this comes from our good friend Wiley Walt. Question: if Battle Cat was in the live-action movie, how would you do it with 80s technology?
Same way it was done in Beastmaster.
That's how I would have done it too. I would have painted his fur green and just have him and take on some of the robot troops, like attack them on the back, or it would be limited because I feel like you can only get a trained tiger to do but so much. And to have like all these people running around and fighting, you're going to throw a live tiger into the mix.
And it's canon film, so within that budget, the live tiger would be the way to go. But if I were to fantasy book it in a way that canon had a little more money, then obviously I'm gonna hit up like a Stan Winston.
Hey, Beastmaster didn't have much of a budget either, so
true.
And they didn't.
And canon didn't care about the safety, so
yeah, that's also another valid point.
He got killed. Yeah.
I would have trusted if he wasn't retired, Ray Harryhausen to bring a lot of the creature effects. I would have bought him bringing Battle Cat to life, Orko, Granomir, whatever could have happened in a live action He-Man movie. If Ray Harryhausen wasn't retired after Clash of the Titans, I would have bought anything he would have brought to life in a live action He-Man movie.
There were also others who were doing stop motion animation in the 80s that were doing really well. Like, wasn't there a Disney made dinosaur like Howler movie or something that showed like it had really good stop motion animation, as I remember. I need
Disney
to check.
movie?
No, like not like a Disney movie, but like a Howler thing. I need to check later.
Okay. Well, shit.
Oh, wait. Deucin, what was that? What was it?
It's not my primary language. That's my excuse.
I know, but I'm just saying it because I'm trying to figure out.
Half hour.
What? One more time?
No, I want to say this. Even though we're laughing right now, the fact that when you break it down, the fact that Deucin can, because his biggest concern with coming on the show for the longest time is he thought no one would understand what he was saying.
Oh no, we've always been able to understand him. Like his English is perfect.
Yeah,
I
can understand him.
There's certain words in our language that we can't even say.
I can understand him. I just don't like listening to him.
Half hour.
Half hour? What? Half hour?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's been saying half hour for a half hour.
Oh,
if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, ring that bell.
Joe's got to take a shit really bad. I love how the rest of us could be talking here. It's like, oh my god, oh, it's happening again.
Well, I mean, Joe's in shambles, all right? Like, come on.
Yeah, he's got to go talk. He's waiting. Jen's going to call him and talk him off the ledge because he's going to threaten to jump out his window.
She had a good dinner this weekend. None of that McDonald's shit.
Yeah, she didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah,
I treat her good. Until
Joe
next
makes her
time.
pay for her own dinner and his.
Have a powerful day.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll fuck you.
Joe.
Because it makes me feel good.
Are you doing that quote again?
Yeah, I just want to do it again just for fun.
Do another one. Come on.
All right. All right.
It is a good one though.
Okay.
You know why I make real fuck you? Because it makes me feel.
It makes me feel good. Oh yeah. Oh, because you got a great ass.
What?
What? What's an ass?
I mean, it's Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Scarface?
No.
No.
Son of a woman?
That's hoo-ha. No.
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Devil's
Charlie
Advocate.
Actually,
gets
he
them for a
never
little
said
preppy.
hoo-ha.
He never
Jack-
says hoo-ha's?
Jack
Nope.
and Jill.
No.
Meet the fuckers.
He's not even in that.
It almost sounded like you said meet the pokers.
I said, meet the fuckers.
Yeah. And fuck anybody who went and saw those movies, by the way.
Yeah, I agree.
They made
Yeah,
one.
movie.
first one is okay.
All right, Deuce, and you're off the show.
Yeah.
It's okay movie. The latter movies are trash. Like, who the fuck needs to see Robert De Niro injecting his dick with whatever that was?
Oh, God.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I forgot there's 3 of those fucking things. It's meet the
Yeah.
parents, meet the
part
Fockers, and then
three-
Little
part
Focker.
3 was
God.
trash.
I'm sure Joe has every one of them. Not Casino. No, it's not Casino there, Wally.
You're close.
Nah, not really. Actually,
Look at Deuce and Deuce and shit. Look at Joe. He's Googling. She's got a great ass. Al
Yeah.
Pacino.
Well, you know what? It kind of makes me want to throw out like another one here. What you do with yourself, you chicken shit cocksucker? All right, Wally, what movie is that from? I'm waiting for Wally to
Scarface?
answer that. No.
Every answer from Deuce is just Scarface.
All right, here's another one. How the fuck can you grin? How the fuck can you grin? Yes, the great ass quote is from Heat. All right, so now I'm waiting for Wally to respond to anyone else. I just threw out, a particular line, and then like Joe's bored out of his mind. Can I go poop now? Jen likes to hear me poop on the phone. She's waiting on me.
Rabbit.
You hear like this big airy farts.
And then just like a plop. Every time there's a plop, Joe's just like, "I love you, baby."
I love you, baby, but I have to hang up because I have to use the plunger.
Oh,
Or when
shit.
Joe's struggling, like, Jenny, I don't know if I can. Tell me you love me, baby. Tell me you love me. Tell me I'm going to get through this.
That's it.
Tell me it's gonna be okay.
It's on fire. It hurts.
Jesus
Is it
Christ.
blood?
See you guys next
Oh my
week.
God, there's so much blood.
Wait. I'm waiting for Wiley to get my quote. Oh, Wiley,
He
come
said
on,
casino.
dude.
Did he say casino?
He said no. He said casino for the Al Pacino quote. I was hoping he would get the 2 casino quotes I just put out.
Oh. No, he don't.
But
he
he
don't know.
didn't do it. By the way, he loves GoBots. We'll have to get him on here to talk about some GoBots sometime, Would you like to
Okay.
do that while I talk about some GoBots?
What's a gobot?
Listen to this guy. Who is this guy? What, is he face palming there?
Well, that's from
Yeah,
earlier.
you should be face palming there, Malacta.
Well, you know who else is? You know who else is palming? Joe Amato.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jenny.
Oh, he's on the shitter.
I love Nathan's reaction to Joe taking a dump and Jenny has to listen to him.
Oh,
Poor
baby,
Jen.
it's gonna break the record.
Oh, he's like Stan's dad on South Park. It spins up in the air.
What's a South Park?
Oh my God.
That's what Joe's asking himself right now. What's a
Yeah.
South Park?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look at him.
He's
It's
so
like,
lost.
it's like, oh my God, I'm so bored.
He muted his mic. He don't want to talk to us anymore. I see how that is.
No, I'm here.
No!
He just didn't want us hearing the plops. That's what it was.
Yeah, there's a line from Mr. Science Theater where Raul Julie says, I can't stand this anymore. I'm so bored. We need to get that line applied for Joe when he just sitting there. Like wishing he was taking a shit instead.
Oh, shit.
Wait, hang on. Well, real quick. There
Damn
we go.
it.
Yeah.
Stop it. I love you, Jen.
Joe Amato in shambles.
Oh, Ren loves her more.
We'll see you guys on the next one.